Wait, are we recording?
Yes, Jess, we're recording.
Well, welcome to
Two Girls, No Plan.
Where nothing is scripted
And it's all our honest opinions.
with a few chaotic moments.
So tune in
Buckle up.
and grab a glass of your favourite drink,
And
unless you're driving.
Hey guys, welcome back.
To our next episode, Surviving Camping.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness. We actually need to plan what we're going to do our facial reaction so you guys be like, "Ooh, what are they going to talk about today?"
It's not a mystery.
Oh, but we just did something this weekend. What did we do, Jess?
We went camping, whoop, whoop, which I haven't been for a year, so it was nice.
It was very nice. Was definitely a bit uncomfortable because we slept in a tent with air mattresses, and Jess knows I have a long history with air mattresses and not having good sleeps, but this is the one time we went away.
They always deflate or pop on her.
They didn't. It deflated, but it didn't completely deflate, so I was actually still not laying on the ground.
Perfect. And it was our first time all sharing a tent together too.
Yeah, poor
which
Jess.
was wholesome. And my partner, Charlotte, and I.
Yep.
How cute.
I felt so sorry for them because I was having this whole week, I was having tummy troubles, and so my stomach was not great. And they had to, if you can imagine, they had to deal with me in a tent. And while they were both asleep, I happily
woke up to a nice, lovely smell of gas.
Yeah. Hey, better to release it than keep it in, you know.
She did.
But no, it was all fun and games. We went up to our friend's farm, which we've been there a couple of times actually. Or I say a couple, quite a few times. But it was really nice and really wholesome. And in saying that, actually, what was your favourite part of the weekend, you say, Jess?
We went yabby catching and did a yabby race, which was so much fun. I was like, Shani was gonna try to go to sleep, and I was like, nah, Shani has to be here for this. So I woke her up. I was like, we're going yabby hunting, and
I jumped up, but it wasn't until she fell on me and was like, we're going yabby camping. I went, oh, yabby collecting. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I was like half out of it because she fell on me, and I was like, okay, all right. But I'm happy I did, because in saying that, I was the first person to catch a yabby.
Did, which I was gonna say she was the first person, but it was so much fun. We tied a sausage to the end of a piece of string and just threw it into the dam, and then you just wait until the yabbies, and you gotta slowly bring it up.
You have to be so patient. And I think that's us girls, we got yabbies pretty much straight away, and the boys took a little bit longer. And I think it was because we knew we had to be patient and take our time. And the boys were like, I want a yabby. Like, I really want a yabby. And I'm like, guys, just wait.
Wait, chill. Keep the voices down and you'll get your yabby.
But before going into this, I didn't even know what a yabby looked like. And so I had to make eye contact with it, and I went, is that a yabby? I don't know. And mind you, I was on one end of the dam and they were on the other side, because I was trying to keep finding different spots to, get it. And clearly it worked in my favour. Yep. And so I didn't have the net with me, and I saw this creature come up with two eyes, and I didn't know whether or not that was it, but I had to trust it. And because I didn't have the net, I had to put my hand and grab it and flick it out. And they didn't believe me. I was like, guys, I caught a yabby. And they're like, did you? And I was like, come look. And then they looked, and I was like, that's a yabby, right? Like, I had to get confirmation.
Yeah, she had to get confirmation, which was funny, which is fair. Like, if you haven't seen a yabby before, but they are creepy when they're looking at you. Like, they've got their little eyes,
and they're black.
They look a little gross, and they're literally looking at you while they're munching on the sausage. You're like, I'm gonna get you, little yabby.
It's like those pins, those pins that you use for sewing, that little balls, those little balls, and you use it to pin things up. It's like those two black of those, from Coraline, even looking straight at you. It's so creepy.
It looks so creepy.
But I'm happy because I caught two, so I got a cute photo with my two, and I've got actually a cute photo that I'll attach here of us holding our yabbies.
Yes.
It was very cute.
And then we also got a video of the race as well, which we can attach overlay as well if you guys want to see. It's so funny. My yabby won, and mine was disabled as well. She only had one claw. Yeah. So did Lockie's, but it was between Lockie's and I's, and mine ended up coming back. It was actually such a good race.
It was such a pretty intense race because it honestly looked like Lockie's was going to win, and yours just turned around and went, nah, I want to escape.
It was like, nah, I'm getting back in that water.
So, yeah, PSA, we also put all the yabbies back after we caught them. And also, Catherine, our friend as well, she was like, we need to put water in the bucket. So we kept them in water in the bucket, and then after we were done, we put them back. That's why we did the race. So we let them actually go back into the water after the race. So.
And what about your favorite thing?
What was my favorite thing? Actually, I went back on the dirt bike. I was so happy. I only went on once, and it's because by the time I went on the second time, I hurt my foot trying to start the dirt bike.
Yeah.
Which I do every single time, but it was the first time riding since we last went camping ages ago with like Jess's family, and her sister-in-law was showing me how to ride the dirt bike. So shout out Alicia.
Yes.
And then we did it this weekend, and Lucas, our friend, helped me do it, and he was such a good teacher. I have to shout out Lucas and Alicia. You guys are great dirt bike rider teachers, however you want to say it. And I had a lot more confidence this time doing it because I went on it straight away and went around. So
yeah, she did. She zipped around on that motorbike, and I sat and watched.
Yep. But hey,
do
you know what? I think she was happy to watch because she got to look at people and look at butts all day. Because you see the back of people as they're riding.
I got to see the back of people. Yeah, that was my highlight of the weekend, actually, the backside of everyone. No, I wanted to see some people falling off. That's what I wanted to see.
We didn't get that. Actually, we got it with one person, but it wasn't even related to our group. They just fell off their little electric bike.
Oh, yeah, they did too. Yeah, poor thing. And you jinxed that, I swear.
I did, because I said beforehand, I was like, oh, electric bikes are a lot more safer than dirt bikes. And Lucas's mum, Rose, was like, no, they're not. They're just as bad. I was like, no, it should be right. And I'm not even joking. Like 2 minutes later, he falls off his bike. I think I have a bad omen when saying things because I said to your partner, Jordan, too, as well. I say, I was talking to him about how I think I hurt my foot or something and how I was in pain. And he's like, you always hurt yourself. And as I'm saying it, no, I don't always hurt myself. I literally chip over the air mattress into our tent. And he's like, point proven.
Literally. Well, the other story that we have for later on / next episode, you fall over as well. So
a lot, actually.
You do have a lot of bad falling over moments.
And I swear, like right now I'm wearing heels. I probably can't be trusted wearing heels. But yeah, like I will be wearing like the flattest shoes and things like that, and my feet just find a way to be like, the time is.
It's time now to embarrass yourself.
It's time for you to kiss the floor. So.
Yes, you love kissing that floor.
But in saying that, we've just talked about a little bit of our story of the weekend, and I think a few of you guys sent in some stories that you were happy for us to share on this weekend's episode, or this week's episode. Sorry, not weekend.
Yes, we sent out a little post and a few messages asking if anyone had any stories.
Yeah,
and this first one is from India. A quick little thing. I met India through a 4 Drive group. Mm-hmm. And we've become really close friends now, and she has been actually an amazing support for this podcast too, tuning in every Wednesday when she goes for a walk. So every second Wednesday. But
India has been like literally liking, she's been like commenting every week on every episode, always listening in, and I always find that so sweet because she's always saying something very positive and always giving us so much feedback. So shout out 100%. To you, India, for always watching and listening and supporting. So we appreciate it.
We really do appreciate it. All the voice messages you send me about the episode too, absolutely love it.
Cheerleader over here.
Yeah. All right. So this is India's.
And I haven't heard this either. So Jess has. I haven't.
I've heard it a couple of times, and oh my God, this story. Oh my God. All right, guys, tune in.
Keep up the great work.
Let's restart that. Sorry, guys. We'll cut that a little bit.
Hey, Jess and Shani, loving the podcast. Keep up the great work. Now, I've had a bit of a think about crazy camping stories, and there is a few, but this one definitely takes the cake. So we're going back to 2021. It was December, and my family has this tradition of camping out at Jackson's Crossing for New Year's. However, I was working right up until the 31st of December, which meant I needed to get myself out there, and I didn't have my own 4-wheel drive. Now, the guy I was seeing at the time, I asked him if he wanted to come out and hoping that he would have a lift. Unfortunately, he rode off his patrol a few weeks prior, so that was a bit of a bummer. But he had a mate with a patrol that if I was keen to invite him, then he'd be able to be our lift out. So that's what we did. I think it was Boxing Day. I met who is my now partner, Matt, and his rig. And, the 3 of us went out for a day, just like thrashing the patrol around a bit, just going for a bit of a four-wheel drive, having a bit of fun. Me and the other guy, we were drinking. Matt wasn't. He was being very responsible. And because we were drinking, we kept needing to take a piss. So every time one of us would go and take a piss, Matt would be funny and drive off on us, or he'd drive up to his mate. And it was all good fun. Had a lot of laughs.
Do you remember when we did that to you?
Oh, I got so aggro. I walked off, and then they thought I got angry, and because we went with that was the same weekend I was talking about when we went away with Jess's family, and it's also the same weekend you peed yourself.
Yes.
But I went to get like a potato cake inside like one of the like the milk bar shop, not a fish and chippy, but like a milk bar, and I came out and I was like, okay, I walk up. I'm not even joking. I did it like 3 times and she kept driving off, and I got to the point where I went, literally, fuck you guys, walked off, and then they got worried because they couldn't see me for a few minutes. Yep. And then the worst part about it is when I went to go put my rude finger up at Jess's car in the Navara, right? It wasn't her Navara, so I had flipped off the wrong fucking car. Out of all cars, exact same colour, same make, same model, out of all things. And this poor guy looked at me like, oh my God. But I can understand her getting aggro at him for doing it. I'd be so angry.
Yeah, it's like, stop driving off on us.
Oh my God.
All right.
Then it became Matt's turn. He hopped out the car and he mumbled something. The music was playing, so I didn't quite catch what he said, but I assumed that he was taking a wee. So once he hopped out the car, I said to the guy in the back, I was like, hey, don't you reckon it'd be funny if we just chuck the car into gear and let it crawl along, because it was in low range? So that's exactly what we did. And as soon as it banged into gear, the car sort of jolted and it just started rolling along. And we were having a bit of a laugh, thinking, yeah, this is funny as. But I sort of noticed a bit of a movement once the car started rolling. And I look out the fucking side mirror and there's Matt on the ground, curled up in fetal position. Now I'm thinking, fuck, like, what is going on? What just happened? I jump out the car as it's still rolling and I run over to him and he is silent. He was obviously in a lot of pain, but not letting it show. But I knew something bad had happened. He told us to get in the car and stop the car. So we did that. And then we came back to him and he was like, no, not good. Like, he was standing on the roof of his car, tying down a swag when the car started moving, and he was just about to hop off. So unfortunately, he ended up falling off straight onto his feet. So he was moaning and groaning about.
Now, if you know forward drives, especially they are so tall, especially when they've got the lift kit and really big tires on. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if he has a Land Cruiser. I can't remember what car he has, but his car is really tall. So he's fallen off the top of the tying down the swag, okay, and landed on his feet.
And he's like, no, we got to go to hospital. So we reversed the patrol up. Matt's a bigger guy, so we couldn't get him in the back. So he stood up on his feet and hopped in the car and he just rested his head on the seat and he was just like trying to keep it together on our 20-minute drive to the hospital. Once we got...
I just realised they would have been drunk while driving.
Oh my God.
PSA, but don't do that. But if it's an emergency, like, you got to do what you got to do.
Do you know what? What are you meant to do in that situation? Like, especially if you're somewhere like, because obviously they're camping and shit, what are you meant to do? Call the ambulance to come and grab you? And also, if you're down a four-wheel drive track, no offense, obviously I don't know if they weren't, but the thing is, at the end of the day, if you are, literally the only way out is for someone to drive you out.
Literally. So they had no choice
God.
but to.
I feel, as a nurse, when we're kids, we bounce a lot, so you can jump full, like, how we jump off things and land on our feet, that's fine. Off a four-wheel drive, very, very, very bad.
Straight on
especially
feet.
As an adult, we don't bounce back as much.
Nope.
And, like... Yeah, that's so bad. I can imagine, like, he could have done anything. He could have fractured. He could have broken something. And it's amazing that when you jump on both your feet landing, how much that can radiate up and what it can actually do, because it can even affect your back and your spine and things like that. So I feel for him right now because I can't even imagine how much pain. And poor Indy is like, what's going on? Like, turning around.
Like, oh my God, I just met this guy and I've almost killed him.
Literally like, haha, the car's rolling. Wait, haha, there's no person in the car. Oh, he's on the floor. Like, on the ground.
I ran in, I got a wheelchair for him. The nurses were like, oh, it can't be that bad if he got up in the car himself and whatever. So we wheel him in, and unfortunately he was waiting ages in the emergency to be seen. But eventually, I think it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, I finally got around to him and did some scans, and unfortunately he broke both of his fucking ankles. I think it was one break in each ankle, and I think it was like the bone that goes into the ankle was like cracked off, and then multiple fractures in both ankles. And I'm here like, oh my God, like I just met this guy and I just fucked up his feet. And it was pretty bad. They had to call up a specialist down the line to get an opinion. Because, I mean, really.
Can I just say, do you know what? India's like,
she does.
India's like, fuck, I've wrecked this guy's life. And he's probably going, damn, I'm falling in love with you.
I don't know if he's going, I'm falling in love with you.
Do you know what? Pain is an aphrodisiac.
We need his side of the story.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah, well, it's India. You might have to get him to talk about it. But I can imagine she's like stressed out, being like, oh my God, I've like killed this guy pretty much, or like, broken his bones. He's never going to hang out with me again. And he's probably like finally getting like pain relief and things like that, and looking up at her and going, wow, she's an angel.
Probably. He could have passed out with the pain too.
Do you know what, though?
Oops, my girl.
But do you know what? It's things like this that bring people together.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see how their love story blossomed after this.
But the specialist, I guess not being happy about being woken up at 2 a.m, just said, chuck him in moon boots, see how he goes. So that's what he did. And because Matt's a bit of a, stubborn, sort of tough bloke, I saw that guy a couple days after the incident in crutches with his 2 broken feet just walking around. Lo and behold, it did not stop him from coming camping for New Year's. He was in the passenger seat when we went out camping.
I wonder why.
I'm sorry. As someone that fractured my ligament before I went up to the farm, I still went up.
Yeah, so camping is a commitment, that's for sure.
I had all my stuff packed. I walked out the door and I went out too quickly. And this is before Jess and Jordan were dating. So I was with Jordan and Christian at my house. And I literally went back inside to get a cooler outfit. And everyone was like, cooler outfit? Like, you want to look cool? I'm like, no, a cooler outfit because it's warm. It's summer.
Yeah.
And I went back in, came back out, and I twisted my ankle and I heard it crack. And I was like, oh my God, it's broken. And we went up to the hospital, had to get driven up. And we got to the hospital and they made Jordan wait outside because it was COVID. So Christian came in with me and he was with me by the wheelchair. And my mum came and they're like, all right, doesn't look like there's any damage. Maybe you've just sprained it. But obviously weeks later, I found out it was a fractured ligament. And as soon as I came out, the boys were like, oh, do you need us to like call Lucas and tell him you're not coming? I went, no, I'm coming. They went, no, you don't have to come. I was like, no, I'm coming. So I spent those 2 or 3 nights up at the farm in crutches, and I made everyone bring me shit, so I did not have to get up.
She was the queen that trip, which is fair. But yeah, obviously he might have also been thinking, I want to see this chick again. I want to see this chick that hurt me again.
Point where he's like, nah, I'm going to drive my car. He just didn't trust the other guy because, he'd just written off his patrol.
Fair.
So Matt hops out of the car with his crutches, hobbles around, hops in the driver's seat, takes off his moon boots, and proceeds to drive his car into Jackson's Crossing with freshly 5-day-old broken feet.
My question is, does he drive manual?
Yes.
Oh.
He drives manual, so he has to use both feet. What I don't, no, I think she said he took his moon boots off.
Yeah, that's what, he did.
Yeah, because I was like, you wouldn't be able to fit the moon boots comfortably between all 3 of the things.
Like, but not when not doing my manual. Not manual. But no, he took both of them off. And like, again, when you're driving manual, you need a foot down for the clutch and a foot down for the accelerator, and plus you've also got the brake as well, out of all things.
Literally. So his foot would have been in a shit position clutch. Actually, if they were forward driving into it, it might have not been as bad because it could have been rolling down here potentially.
But it depends if they get stuck
get stuck and stuff, that would have been another story.
And it was that moment that I fell in love with him.
Aww.
I don't know if it was that, or maybe I just felt bad, but I ended up keeping Matt around, and yeah. That's my story. Thanks, girls. I know that was a bit of a long one, but yeah. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Bye, India.
Bye, India. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that was actually a really good story.
And it's a love story as well. It's a camping horror story,
like I said,
a love story.
Things like that bring people together.
So, if you're ever wondering how to get a boyfriend, just break their ankles.
So that's how her and Jordan met.
I would. No, I'm kidding. I would feel so guilty though. Oh my god, I would feel so guilty with that.
Oh my goodness. So that was one of our long stories, and that was a very good story. Honestly, I think that's one of my top favorite stories I've probably heard, like, for a camping story.
It's pretty up there.
Well, that's surviving camping.
That is surviving camping.
Now, the two I have, the most like tiniest ones I have, actually I have a few, but they're all tiny. None of them, I've only got one that's a voice message. So one of these ones, I won't say her name, but she explained that when she went camping, what were they doing? So she said it was yuck. So this is when I'm trying to read the writing. This is yuck. But when I was 4, me and a family friend, Connor, found a dead bird and we thought it was sleeping. So we picked him up and brought him back to Connor's caravan and put the bird into his brother's bed to let him sleep. And obviously he's woken up to a dead bird.
Poor dead bird.
Oh my god.
At least they were being kind and going, oh, we got a pet bird. Let's see how we go.
We'll bring you back to life.
Oh my god. That's such like a kid thing though to do as well.
Oh my goodness. See, this one scares me. Is Savannah, shout out to Savannah, mentioned that when she was camping, she had a huntsman spider drop into her face.
Oh no.
Yeah. And do you know what? I wasn't camping, but I can relate to that because when I was in my Subaru, I turned after we'd been to the petrol station, my mum and I saw a huntsman hanging on my clip where the seatbelt goes up, and I'd realised that it was half dead and it was gross. It was slimy and gross, and I was like, how did that happen? And it was because when I'd filled up, I must have let go of my seatbelt, as we all do, must have flicked the huntsman that was right next to me, killed it, got out, paid for petrol, come back in, went to drive out. And I had to get something to like flick the spider out of the car. And oh my goodness, I was like to my mum, oh my God. And I held a whole bunch of cars up. And this one car was like, it's like, you're holding us up. I'm like, there's a huntsman in my car. Like, I was not happy. Happy.
Well, I'm so sorry for you, Savannah, that it landed on your
face. It's hard enough, like when I saw it next to me, but it on your...
I got...
No.
I wonder if that deterred her from camping ever again.
So the one I have here from Karan is like the most smallest one, but it's I think it's a cute one anyway. I think it's just talking about how
shout out to UK.
Yeah, for when because he only came camping with us because I don't really go camping in the UK.
Yeah.
So
I still remember the first time he saw stars. He's like, oh, wow, that's what stars look like. Yeah, he was so amazed by the stars.
All right, so we'll see how this goes off my MacBook.
I don't really have any crazy camping stories, as I've only been camping a select number of times. I'm trying to think. I mean, as someone from the UK that's never been camping, taking a shit in the woods was new for me. I've never done that before.
I was not expecting him to say that.
That's why I told you not to listen to it. This one I listened to before Jess did.
That literally all he said is that?
That's about as crazy I can give. Other than that, there's not much craziness I can give you. No, I can't. I'm sorry to disappoint.
He's like, I'm sorry to disappoint.
Love the accent too.
But there you go. So no, I thought you would find that was funny
with
the shit.
So funny. So, yeah. And the funny thing is, I probably I probably gave him that experience too.
Yep.
By taking him camping.
Because the thing is, like, we've been to the UK, there's not many places you can. Like, you can. There's not. No, it's not very common.
Yeah.
There's certain countries where obviously camping's like common, which Australia is probably one of, like, America. But then if you go to like United Kingdom and like other European countries, it's not as common. Like backpacking is common, but not camping.
Yeah.
So there's a couple crazy camping stories or surviving camping. They were pretty short, but we've got some more for later.
Yes, we do.
I think I think we've had a pretty good round of camping stories, and I think you guys might want to listen to a big one that was for New Year's of 2020. Was it 2020? Going into 2023, 2024?
Oh, yeah, I reckon 2023.
Yep.
So this is New Year's for 2023.
Yep.
All right. Where do I start? Okay. So we'll start from the beginning. So Jackson and I decided to go up earlier because we had time off, whereas Shani unfortunately didn't have time off. So she was going to come up later with Jordan about on the 30th, so a few days before.
Yeah.
And so we got up there 5 days before they were actually coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's along the Murray in Victoria, which is a beautiful spot called Carter's Beach. So it's a good 4-hour drive up there from where we are. And when we arrived, I noticed that there was a lot of like bumps and all that stuff, and I was like, questioning whether Shani could get her car in. But then I saw a couple of other hatchbacks along the side further up, and I was like, she'll be able to do it. So I headed back to the start of the track. I took some photos of like where exactly we're going and directions of where to go, and I sent her all this on Messenger, and I was like, I'm sure this will help Shani out when she comes up on the Friday after work. Long and behold.
well, yeah, look, wasn't great.
It was not great.
No.
And so Jackson and I, we all settled in, and then the first night, this first day, Jackson vomited a whole shit ton of carrots up, because he decided to eat a whole bag of carrots to himself, and it ended up being off, so that was disgusting. He was puking up. The second night, Jackson and I both got bitten by a spider, and by the end of the trip, we were both swollen and ended up needing to go to the doctors.
Literally, when I arrived, you guys were like, what the fuck do we do? And I'm like, I don't carry anti-venom with me. Like, I'm sorry.
We probably should have gone to the hospital. Like, that probably could have ended up a lot worse.
If it was bad, like, realistically, with any type of like spider or snake bites, they can go necrotic and you can like lose limbs because of it and die because of it.
Literally,
so, and go into like organ failure.
I remember we went to bed that night and we're like, if we end up surviving in the morning, like the 24 hours, then obviously the spider's probably not deadly and we'll be right, which was what happened. But by the end of the trip, I was pretty much limping,
and they were just waiting for me to get there to be like, yeah, you'll be right.
Yeah, and also I was like, Shani will be here soon too, and she'll tell us everything will be fine. It'll be okay.
Imagine I rock up and I'm like, so I prescribe death.
Literally. If she said that, I would have gone to the hospital for sure.
No, she would have been like, nah, it's right.
I got this great camping spot right on the beach, right on the Murray. I'm like, I'm not losing this on New Year's Eve. Stuff that we aren't going to hospital.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, it was a day before that I knew Shani was going to come up. So I was like, I better go ahead and get some reception. So I walked 15 minutes. I actually took Jackson with me this time.
Yeah.
And we walked 15 minutes to the spot where we got reception. And I messaged her. I was like, it might have been the day of, sorry. And I messaged her and I was like, what time roughly will you be here so that I could come back later and try to contact her if I need to. And she told me maybe around 10 o'clock because she was coming up after work.
I think we were originally meant to get there at 9 o'clock, probably a little bit earlier. But Jordan, before Jess and Jordan were dating, I drove Jordan up to come up to the camping site because he also had work right up until like the 29th. So I was like, you can come up with me. He's like, yep, no problem. I said to him when I either picked him up or he came to my house, I can't remember which, I said to him so many times, have you packed everything? And he assured me, he went, yep, I have everything. I was like, are you sure? And then he's like, yep. And then I'm not even joking, an hour before we're meant to arrive, or probably a little bit, probably even 45 minutes, he goes, oh no. I went, what's oh no? He goes, I don't think I brought my air mattress. And I was like, I swear to God, Jordan, and I got him to check the car, and he's like, nope, I didn't bring it. And I was like, all right, let me see if there's a Kmart nearby. He's like, no, it's all right. I'll just sleep on the floor. I said, Jordan, I'm not letting you sleep on the floor of a tent. Like, that's, like, uncomfortable because obviously him and Jackson were going to share a tent at this point, and Jess and I were going to share the rooftop tent.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not making you sleep on the floor. Like, I'm mean, but I ain't that mean. Like, come on. And so we had to pull over. And mind you, he also told me you needed sunglasses. So I was like, all right, well, we're in Kmart anyway. Get what you need.
Get what you need, yeah.
And then obviously we started heading up at this point. And instead of it being 9 o'clock arrival, it was meant to be 10 o'clock. But in saying that, we got there a lot later.
Yes, a lot later. So anyway, that night I was like to Jackson, I was like, I feel like something is wrong. I feel like they should be here by now, and I should go and get reception just in case. So I walked 15 minutes to this location, and it was sketchy. It was scary. I felt like I was in a horror movie looking behind my back every 10 seconds. I forgot to mention this before, but there was these 2 dogs, canines, that like huge dogs that came at me running and like, and I
sorry, the way you went,
I freaked out, and then the campers called them back. I thought I was going to be attacked by dogs. I was furious.
I'm sorry,
as well.
but no matter what, if you're at a campground and you got dogs like that, I'm sorry, you need to keep them detained, because some people can't handle dogs at all. Like, you handle dogs, that's fine. Obviously, you can't stop a dog from attacking you, but what I mean is like, if they're friendly but they come up a bit aggressive, that can scare people a lot.
It freaked me out. It actually did freak me out a lot. And then I arrived at the reception area, and there's these 2 tents that had been there since like 5 days earlier that Jackson and I swear I did not see anyone go in or out of these tents, but there's 2 small little tents, and I just got these really eerie, weird feeling about these 2 little tents from the moment I drove past them the first day. Anyway, I had to pull myself up to next to these tents in the pitch black, and then out of nowhere, this hare just came directly sprinting at me, which hares are a little bit bigger than rabbits. And I screamed my lungs out. I was terrified. Someone probably thought I was getting murdered. I was terrified. I got a hold of Shani eventually. I think I tried a couple of times because obviously I knew that she might not have a reception either. And thank God she had reception.
I know. I'm actually lucky because a lot will happen and we'll explain. But I'm very blessed that I had reception, because if I didn't, we would have had to walk a long time.
Yeah, like I don't know what they would have done. So I did get a hold of her, which I'm so grateful for. And on the phone, did you call me or did I call you? Did you call me
called
back,
you at one point, and the first time you didn't answer, I was like, oh no. And then you answered again, and you were obviously sitting on a little stool, I think you brought, or something, or did you bring like a little chair? I swear you brought like a little chair.
Something with me because I didn't know how long I was going to be waiting for.
Yeah,
in the bush.
Yeah,
in the pitch black. I only had my phone was about to die too. It was only on 10% with light as well.
So bad.
It was so freaky. And yeah, so we're on the phone, and she's just, I think you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm going the right way. There's a lot of potholes and stuff. And
no, this is before then actually. So this is like, I've got a place that I either turn or go straight. And she was confused where I was too as well. So I was like, all right, let me just go straight, because I think this is the right way. And then when I called you, I was like, when we were talking, I was like, oh, there's a lot of like it looks really hard for me to go through. And at the start she was like, no, I went through it, it's okay, you're just gonna go really slow. I was like, oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And it started getting worse and worse.
Yeah, and then it got to the point where I was like, nah, she should have been at where I was by now, because I was like near sort of where she should have been by that time that she was on the phone with me. And I didn't see no headlights, no nothing. And I was like, nah, something's sketchy.
Just so you guys are like, where has she gone down? Just so you know, a sign had been taken down or had fallen down that explained that it was a blocked off 4-wheel drive track that you weren't even meant to go down, even with a 4-wheel drive, because it was so hazardous that you're not even meant to go down it with a normal car. And I drive a hatchback.
Literally, there was severe weather when we were driving up, and the days leading up to it, there was severe weather, and that's why the track was also
so bad. It was so bad.
The sign was knocked over too, so she wouldn't have known.
If it was still the sign, I would have turned back around, but the sign had fallen down,
so you can imagine,
which made it worse. And we kept going, and Jess was on the phone as well. And at one point, Jordan that's in the car was like, we should turn back around. I went, let's go a little bit further and see how we go.
Shannon can be a bit stubborn sometimes.
Very stubborn. And then a thought in my head went, we should stop. And the second that thought came in, Jess, on the other hand, on the line, what do you hear?
I hear, oh shit.
And there's a massive
bonk, and then also crying. And I didn't know what was going on because you hanged up on me. I swear you did hang up on me because you were so stressed.
No, my car turned off, and I think I don't know what had happened.
So then I was trying to get in contact with her, and obviously because her car was off, that, and yeah, we're gonna explain in the next episode because there's so much more to this story.
It's so much. So yeah, but it was very, very scary because what happened was a big kadunk. And then, like Jess said, you'll have to hear it in the next episode. So,
silence.
Sorry, guys. But if you're truly watching these episodes and you want to continue and listen to more, then you've got to listen and tune into next week's episode.
Yes, and we hope you enjoyed our listeners' stories. We do have more in the next episode too. Yes. So if we haven't read out yours yet, it will be in the next episode. So stay tuned.
And you still have time to share your stories. You've got one more week to share your stories. If you want them on the podcast, you need to share them.
Yes. 100%. Well, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Girls, No Plan.
We hope you enjoy this episode.
Please like, comment, and share.
We look forward to chatting your ears off on the next episode.
Oh, and please do not forget to hit subscribe.
We need to pay these bills.
We really do.